into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Can you guys smoke a cigarette? I really need one. But first, let me take a selfie.
We're kind of bobbing this time.
The song can just keep going forever.
I know.
I can never get enough of this song.
It's like
so
the perfect
sad.
little rhythm and beat. Awesome. Hey, AfterBuzz fans, welcome to yet another week of ABC's new hit series, Selfie. This week we are in Season 1, Episode 3, A Little Yelp from My Friends. I'm your host, Courtney Tezeno, and I'm joined with two lovely ladies across from me. Introduce yourselves.
Hello, everyone. This is June Lee.
Hey guys, I'm Kellie Knezovich.
Awesome. Good energy, good vibes. So this episode was even better than last week. I mean, we got a little into a different type of social media. It's not Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. It's Yelping. So hence the title. So first we jump right into a board meeting. I think we want to start there. You want to start a little earlier?
I think the board meeting's good. Because being on her phone.
Yeah, so we start in a board meeting where they're talking about kids' pharmaceuticals. And I don't even know if he's a CEO. He starts this exercise where each coworker is supposed to rate their coworker next to them. And obviously everyone gets a fair rating, and even Eliza, she gets a 0 from her boss, Joan. How are we feeling that scene?
Awkward.
Yeah, really awkward.
One thing I noticed is that, like, I don't know if you guys noticed, like, the sign behind them.
No.
Like, it was, like, pharmaceuticals, and I couldn't see what the sign said, but it's Kinder Care with K's. And they have, like, these blocks, like, these ABC blocks, which I thought was so weird for a pharmaceutical. It's such a weird kind of pharmaceutical company brand. I don't know.
Never seen anything like
that. That guy, though, I think he's super weird. I mean, the fact that he even brings up a whole, what is it, Channing Tatum / Duan Tatum rating scale.
Yeah, I've never seen a board meeting like that. It was a little all over the place.
Well, maybe the purpose of that is to show how kind of social media, I mean, if we can start with, like, how the whole episode started with, like, her, you know, putting in her calories and her like tracking her sleep and her using the breathalyzer on
that
her
is
iPhone.
So
that
cool.
was the coolest.
Yeah, is that even a thing?
I know.
I've never seen it as a thing, but you were like, oh my god, that's so cool.
I was blown away.
We need to check our apps. We need to check our apps.
I will spend $1 on that.
Yeah, the iPhone is like saving drunk drivers. Yes. You know what I mean? It's doing good in the world.
That's one thing that I noticed in this episode. We see a lot of, like, it's shedding light on positive things with social media. So it's kind of bringing a little bit more into that. So we see the obnoxious things, but we kind of end on a good note where social media helps. So.
Totally, But I was wondering if, like, the whole board meeting was to show kind of like how it's infiltrated everything, like, you know, even in the workplace.
It has. I mean, they're a marketing company, so they have to focus on trends. They have to know what's going on in the world. So they're definitely, like, immersed in social media.
Yeah.
But another great thing from this episode was the fake listening. I think she's getting better. I mean, she is doing better as far as, like, making eye contact, but you can tell that she's still not there.
Yeah.
I mean, Henry's trying all he can, but she's not really making it.
I just love seeing her progress. I think she's doing so well.
She is. Yeah. She definitely is. I mean, the only thing that made me realize she's not really all the way there was the pop culture reference where she's like, B&J's, wait, what was it, $1 billion on the elevator? Oh. Where you can tell she's not listening to anything that he said when she made that reference. Like, what does that have to do with anything?
And she even said, too, she's like, I have to make eye contact with him, but it's really hard for me to focus. And, you know, you can see her kind of dozing off a little bit. So she's aware of it, too.
Yeah. She's trying. And, like, that's what I love about Eliza is that, like, she went to Henry and said, hey, I need your help. I'm not happy with who I am. If she was happy with who she was, then, like, no problem. Like, you be you. And I was talking to Kelly. Yeah, I was talking to Kelly about this earlier. So like, yeah, I think everybody has a right to be whoever they want to be, but she's not particularly happy, and she's making that effort, and she's aware, like Kelly said, and it's exciting to kind of see her like, blossom and kind of like have little victories.
And the fact that she's doing so well, and we're only 3 episodes in.
Yeah. Awesome. She's doing a great job. Yeah. She came from the complete bottom.
Yeah.
She's definitely a fast learner. So back in the board meeting when we realized that like Joan thinks that she's a 0, I thought it was kind of rude, but I got it because she's on her phone during the meeting, which everyone knows that's like a huge no-no.
Yeah.
But the real reason behind it is that we find out that she's been eating all her food that's labeled. Like that is so rude.
Such a social no-no.
Yeah.
That is such a social no-no.
I mean, even at your house, like if you write something, you write your name on something.
Oh my gosh!
No, that's
when my roommates do that, I get furious. That is my food. I spent money on that.
And I was waiting on that after this. Like I was savoring that moment, and you took that from me by eating it.
I know.
I do like how she said. She's like, oh, it was an accident, and Joan said, it's not an accident. It was a blatant disregard.
Yeah.
So it's true.
And it is. I mean, you see my name on it. You didn't go out and spend money on it, so it's not yours. But, I mean, she tries to recover from that, we see. So befriending Joan, the first thing she says is basically we're opposites. We heard this reference, she's a miracle suit and I'm a monokini. And we all, like, started, like, checking what is a miracle suit? I don't quite know, but I assume it's not as revealing is what we got from that. So we realized that Joan and Eliza are opposites. And the way that Henry wants them to deal with this is for her to befriend Joan. So that's her next assignment, is to make her friend. And how do you make someone your friend when they think you're like a 0? How do you guys do that?
Well, I don't know. Well, I think, it was interesting that Henry kind of, like, showed her, like, this is how you make friends. You find something in common to talk about.
Yeah.
You try to ask them about their life. Try to, like, keep an ongoing conversation. So how's the wife, like, showing that that he has a wife. But then I thought it was really interesting because his conversation with Larry was very surface.
Yeah.
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 And I honestly think she had a better time connecting with Joan by using social media, which is what he wanted her to veer away from.
But do you remember when she first went to Joan and she made those references, the old ball, and she just she how's the husband? Oh, that sucks. She was just awkward. It didn't work out.
When
she didn't use social media, it didn't work.
And I think that's because she's not connected.
That's a really amazing point, Kelly. Because
thank you.
Because no, I think there's a gold star in there because. Yeah, maybe it's not about changing Eliza, but figuring how to take social media, which is such an Eliza thing, and connecting with other people using those things, because it is possible. You know? Actually, if you think about it, the whole social media movement was all about connecting with others.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I think that's kind of brilliant.
Well, even today, too. I mean, I know a lot of my friends know other of my friends that they've never met before through social media. I Insta-stalked them, or I Facebook
so you feel like you know their life.
So you know their lives. Yeah. And I honestly feel like that's how a lot of people meet and get to know each other, know what people like, and share common interests that way through social media.
And that's exactly what Eliza did this episode. She used social media to connect with Joan. She found out that she wasn't huge on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on anything other than Yelping.
Yeah.
And she started Yelp stalking all of her reviews and found out all her favorite spots, her favorite place to go dance, and we saw that was a fail in the dance class.
I love that scene.
It was so fun, though.
I love that song so much.
She was living it up.
She was. Yeah. But Joan was so serious. Like,
no. She looked mad.
Yeah, I think she was a little too serious. Yeah. She knew every move to the T.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
I love Joan. I thought when I was looking at her, I was like, wow, she's really beautiful, Joan.
Yeah, she is.
She really is.
Beautiful. She has like this kind of, like, I don't know, je ne sais quoi about her, but like I really like her.
She's very regal. I love that about her.
Exact. That's the right word, regal. And I was wondering if, like, is what kind of social media that we do telling of our personality. So she's not an Instagrammer, she's not a Twitter, but she's a Yelper. So what does that say about her? She likes to write.
She likes to write.
She likes to voice her opinion.
Exactly. And see, I would think that a Yelp and a LinkedIn are kind of, those are kind of on the same level. And a lot of people outside of our generation are into those things. They feel like getting a digital fingerprint in LinkedIn and, you know, Yelping is benefiting society. Yeah. As in Instagram, we see is just like,
selfies.
Yes, exactly, selfies. And it can help you in some ways, but a lot of ways we see that it's just like self-promotion and it's not really benefiting us. So
LinkedIn is kind of different.
Yeah, so you can kind of see the difference in generations there.
Yeah. And what's interesting about LinkedIn is that you get to see who's looking at your profile. Yeah. I've been very active on LinkedIn lately, and it's really interesting. Like, if I click on someone's picture just to see what they're doing, like, and they add me, I'm like, oh, well, that's good, because, like, I guess, like, they definitely saw that I looked at their profile, you know what I mean? And, like, now I get kind of scared, like, do I want to click on this person's profile? Because they're going to know.
Wait, but why are we scared?
I don't know. Cause,
the whole point is to connect each other, so we should be okay with saying that. Yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of like OkCupid. Like, I'm okaying them by clicking on their profile, and they're okaying me if they add me.
Exactly. Or if they don't add you, they either think you're a creep or...
I know. So it's like
it's all, I mean, this episode we saw that there's some benefits to social media. So the next thing that we see is, after dance class, we see that they kind of connect. So she does
pizza party.
So she does more research, and she realizes that Joan is really into what was the name of the place? It started with a G.
Geppetto's?
It was she did a great review for this pizza place, and she did a pizza party for Eliza and her husband. Now, where Eliza goes wrong this episode is that she gives away too much of her research. Like, she goes on a little bit of a word vomit. And she gets caught. And she gets caught because she finds... But
what are you going to do? Let the man die of an allergic reaction?
Yeah. I mean, for everyone listening, this episode, basically, Eliza finds out... Eliza says that her husband has an oregano allergy. And Joan's husband has Joan's husband has an oregano allergy, and how else would she have known that if she had not been stalking Joan and found that out from her Yelping? So we see that it kind of went wrong on her end, but she had such good intentions.
She did. I think one of my favorite parts in the entire episode was when she apologized, because she seemed super genuine. She's
so sincere.
So I'm sorry, I was just trying to get to know you. For what it's worth, I feel really bad.
That
is a side of Eliza that we've never seen before.
Exactly.
Total
so much growth.
It was so great. Yeah.
And like I totally agree. And when she came out of the class, she genuinely complimented Joan. It was like, wow, you really killed it in there. And like, oh my god, Eliza's complimenting other people now. Yeah. That's like
I didn't even think about that. But
for Eliza, you know what I mean? She's growing.
Yes.
Yeah. Snap for Eliza.
Definitely. So that is one of the huge highlights. Now let's get over into Henry. So we kind of see a different side of Henry. We're used to him being the person that knows everything, and I feel like we're starting to see some of his flaws and how, like, him not being into social media and just dealing with the human interaction is kind of going wrong for him. So in this episode, we see that Larry, his wife leaves him for, we'll get into it later, for his wife leaves him, and Henry takes him in. So he's the good, he's not
reluctant.
Even he's the reluctant, he reluctantly takes him in. And I mean, just tell me how you guys felt when he was in his house.
You know, what you said earlier, June, about having the surface level conversation. We saw how well that went in the kitchen at the workplace. Well, with Larry and Henry, how that surface conversation, it was fine. And then when Larry came over and spent the night and things got weird, and you could see that Henry was very uncomfortable, and he didn't know how to act. And I think you nailed it right on the spot, Courtney, with he doesn't know how to, that connection, it's not there.
He doesn't know how to go a little deeper.
Exactly.
So he's very used to the office protocol, like we're just going to speak about work and kind of graze the level of like what's going on with your family, and but once he gets deep into it, I don't think he can handle it. And so now we're starting to see that he doesn't have much of a human interaction that he thinks or that he's trying to get Eliza to do.
Do you think maybe it's a control thing? Like
I can see that.
You know, with surface level conversations, he can easily control and put in a lot of effort, or maybe not put in so much. And when Larry showed up at his place, he kind of didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And he made sure Larry knew, don't use the guest bathroom. And, you know, it just was awkward and weird. And I wonder if it kind of comes down to Henry's not in control.
I think he's not. I don't think he's used to having an organic conversation.
Yeah.
And
I think what's really interesting is that we're starting to see that Henry and Eliza are kind of like two sides of the same coin.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, they both have issues surrounding
wonderful point.
Intimate relationships. You know, and it manifests in different ways. So for Henry, it's like, yeah, you don't use social media, but you use like the surface human interaction to kind of like keep people at arm's distance. Yep, exactly. And Eliza uses social media to keep everybody at a social distance. You know what I mean? So it's really interesting.
It's two extremes, I feel.
Yeah, it's two.
Well, yeah, I think with Eliza, she doesn't keep the social media world at a distance. I think she stays very close, and she puts out what she wants and the image she wants.
But
and
like I'm talking about like person to person, like interpersonal intimacy. I feel like both of them are lacking in that kind of like showing themselves and like being vulnerable. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think John, or let me not say John. We love John Cho.
I know, John.
It's hard not to say his real name. But Henry, he has a hard time. What am I even trying to go with this? You just made a perfect point. What I'm trying to say is that it's not organic with him, and he has a hard time connecting.
Connecting.
He has a hard time connecting
with
because
people.
He is so used to things being kind of in a formula. Like, do you get? Yeah, I think he's used to it being a formula, and this is how corporate America works, and this is how relationship works, and so he doesn't really know how to get close, and that's all we see in the beginning. He doesn't really have any friends, and I don't think it's just social media. I mean, he literally stays at work, and he doesn't.
Right, he doesn't have any friends. Exactly, and I think that's why Selfie. I believe Selfie has legitimate legs, because I feel like this is an issue for everybody. Yeah. No matter what age you are, everybody wants friends.
And I think we're starting to see that this episode. Yeah, I think this episode was so good.
It was so good. Yeah. It was so good. All thanks to the club. Okay, so one other thing, I want to kind of get into a few more character dynamics, because we're seeing a few more characters, very small roles, but one that I want to touch on is Charmonique. I like her, but I'm kind of over her role. Like, everything that's being said is very stereotypical, and like she's very sassy with everything. I think one comment she made that I didn't think was very positive was saying, "Oh, why do non-ethnic or non-black people have to go to dance class to get a black figure?" Which is not true. Why can't we all just go to dance class?
I see.
I'm not really fond of her role right now. And I want to see more from her. I want to see more of the human side of her outside of being sassy.
That's really interesting that you say that, Courtney, because I was thinking, like, we see kind of everybody who has these realness issues. The boss is
weird,
wacky, crazy,
so weird.
Yeah, and everybody's kind of self-involved and looking out for themselves. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the boss is like living in this, like, I don't know what world, but Larry just wants. Everybody's thinking about themselves. Henry thinks about himself, my comfort, my way. Eliza thinking about herself, self-absorbed. But I feel like Charmonique is like the only person that genuinely cares about other people.
She does.
Yeah,
she does.
Yeah, she's the only person that genuinely cares about what's happening to other people, and that has nothing to do with herself.
And I think she's the one person that is kind of the balance of both worlds. She knows how to balance social media and stay in viral videos, and then she still has a relationship at home, can interact with people. So I think she definitely covers both spectrums.
She has great social skills.
Yes, she does.
She can.
Maybe it's because of her job description. I mean, she's interacting with people at every part of the day at the desk.
True. So and different levels of people. Right.
So she's spot on. I think she's like the balance between both.
I really love her character. Yeah. But I understand how that kind of like comment could have, turned you off a little bit.
I just want to see not even just that comment, but just the role that she's given. It's very just like, I want to see more from her.
I think we will see more from
we
her.
will.
Yeah,
I think we are.
We're gonna be optimistic.
A good
predictions.
Blend.
Yeah, let's get into some predictions. Yeah, I definitely think Charmonique will be one of those characters that people are going to love, and she's really gonna have an arc over the season, especially with her son and just a little bits of bits of information, like little tidbits. You know, they've shown us about her. You know, what's her story? I think people are gonna get curious. As to why she's so healthy.
Yeah, and let us know what you guys think online. Yeah, we want to know all your comments. So head over to iTunes, comment, rate, subscribe, do it all, and then head over to YouTube, watch our videos, see all the crazy behind the scenes. Give us 5 stars, comment, subscribe, and rate again because you love AfterBuzz TV Selfie. And we'll see you guys next week. Okay, so let's head over into Eliza and Henry's relationship, which is blossoming. Yeah, it's blossoming so well.
God, I just could have passed out at that ending scene.
That was so good. It was so good because I think it was Eliza that was her voiceover. She was saying how, maybe it was Henry? I think it was Eliza about, great office friendships, and this is blossoming into a great friendship. And
at the end, yes, that was Eliza's voice.
Yeah, so they're both kind of finding friends in different ways. One thing that was so cute was that the whole episode, Eliza's constantly eating her lunch over a trash can, which I think is completely disgusting. Weird, disgusting, ugh. But we find out there's a reason behind it. Growing up, she didn't ever have anybody to eat lunch with her. So for Henry to buy a trash can just so he could be closer to her for lunch was just like, ugh. You're so thoughtful.
I think once he...
I
love this.
I know, we have the best guy ever.
Yes, our producer is awesome.
Yeah.
The fact that he went out of his way and bought her a trash can so they could eat lunch near one another, I thought that really allowed her to be vulnerable. And she opened up to him and said, the reason I eat over a trash can is because I don't have any, or I never had any friends growing up. And I thought that was, she's just making such great progress. She's really opening up. I really like it.
But then we've kind of seen that with Eliza. She doesn't really have a problem with being open. And I think that's what you guys meant when you guys said they're polar opposites. You know, it's Eliza is so open to the point there's no filter, and that can be an issue. But Henry is totally closed off, where he just doesn't let anybody know what's really inside and what's hurting him. Whereas Eliza is but that's why it's really interesting because in some ways she's very evolved, you know, in her ability to be vulnerable and to tell people how it is, you know what I mean?
So who do we think needs the most work?
I think that's such an interesting question.
Yeah. I mean, tell us what you guys think. Who do we think needs the most work? Is it Eliza or is it Henry?
Who's really getting the makeover here, you know?
Wow.
Just threw the whole selfie thing into another direction.
That's a really good question because they're both coming together they're blending so smoothly, and Henry is opening up, and he's becoming more vulnerable and trying new things, which I don't think he really would have tried a lot of these things had Eliza not been in the picture.
Totally.
Definitely.
And then she's taking time to appreciate other people,
which is great.
And she's wanting to fix herself, which is good too.
And this episode, we didn't hear anything about her outfit or wardrobe change.
I
mean, she was still wearing a similar outfit, shorts and all of that. But I think she's evolving to not.
That
worry
workout
about herself
outfit
so
was
much.
Fabulous, though.
Yeah,
wish I had
that. Was good.
That was a cute one.
Yeah,
we all need to take some tips for that one.
Okay, let's go take a Paula do dance class.
Yeah. Oh my god. We got to learn that dance for next week. Next week we'll bring the moves.
We got to figure out our song. Oh yeah, guys, in the comments, tell us what song you want to hear in the beginning, so we'll do a dance to that.
Okay. My gosh, what did I get myself into?
Yeah, we're gonna take that challenge. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and head into predictions.
And so it's very fitting. Halloween is coming
TV.
around.
Oh yeah,
I'm feeling very spiritual.
Spiritual. Okay, that was spiritual. I don't know. So let's my prediction, or do you guys want to take yours?
No, go.
Okay,
you go.
So my prediction, I wrote down Eliza's gaining more of a social circle is what I want to see in the future. So I don't think she's ruined her relationship with Joan just yet. I think it's just had a little bump in the road, but she can pick that back up. I think with her being less self-absorbed, more people want to be around her, so she'll have more friends. And then I said if she gets off the phone, then I said if she gets off the phone, then she'll be better. But at the same time, we kind of see that the phone is helping her. I don't know. So I kind of think she's going to find a balance in using her phone, finding more friends, and that's my prediction.
Yes, I totally agree. Yeah, what was that licking the phone all about? That was just
it's because she didn't want him to hold it.
I know.
That was a weird little tactic.
I mean, I would never do that.
I feel like a little sister or brother would do that.
Yeah.
I know. Gosh, I just want to like that ending scene when Henry goes over to the trash can and asks her if the seat is taken. You know, it just melted my heart.
You're such a romantic.
And I am such a romantic. I am such a romantic. I think that's hard for Henry. You know, I think, and we see that, like, you know, that was the reason why he broke up with his ex-girlfriend, was because like, he was just so involved in his work. That's all he knew. And I think we're going to see a beautiful romantic relationship kind of blossom between Eliza and Henry. And like, I think we're gonna see there is this like thing that like a woman kind of becomes a woman when she's treated by like a woman by a man. It takes a great man to treat a woman right. You know what I mean?
I like that.
And I think he's kind of stepping up into that role.
Do you think when he came over and asked if the seat was taken, do you think that was a romantic gesture, or do you think he was just honestly asking as a friend, as like a joking, like, hey, is the seat taken? Or,
I was more into the friend thing because I kind of don't know if I want them to be together just yet. They're good friends,
Yeah.
but romantically, I don't know just yet.
Yeah.
So I think it was like, oh, you just said that you never had friends before. Let me be your friend and take that seat for you.
Yeah. I think last week I wanted them to be together and I wanted them to you know, be a thing, but I honestly think they might just be better as like a brother-sister like thing, as best friends. And
maybe they can be each other's wingman. I don't know. Like that would be great.
I mean, Larry really wanted that role of going out to the bars.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe Eliza might take that on.
Maybe.
She'd be a pretty good wing woman.
Good prediction. Good prediction. Okay, guys. Well, we're gonna wrap it up this week. Where can everybody find you?
You guys can follow me at Twitter, ms_Junelee, JUNELEE, and you guys can check out my website, amazetv.com.
And you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Kellie Knez, and you can check out my website at kellyknezovich.com.
And you guys can find me at Tezeno's on Instagram and Twitter. Again, every week we want to hear your comments, so tweet us your comments, #SelfieABC. We will read your comments, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.